So for those of you who've been to my house, there are quotes all around my house. My mom loves Target and Pier 1. Every time you see a quote on like a napkin or whatever, she buys it and it's all around there. So one quote that really resonated with me was this quote. So in the end, it's not about the years in your life, it's about the life in the years. And I saw it when I was young, so I thought it meant simply, if you live till you're 80 or whatever, it doesn't matter if you don't do anything in that life. But if you live till you're 40 and do a lot in that life, it can be a meaningful life. So I wrote with that quote. So growing up, as you can see, I was a major athlete, full of sports. I was way too aggressive on the football field. I'll say that now, but that's what you need. So growing up, I played sports, loved it. Was very good till about age 10. That's when I started noticing things were getting harder, such as playing sports. So to go from being the starter on a basketball team or a football team and then being benched and not playing a single second in a game was really tough. And I honestly just thought that I wasn't as good as the other players because I hadn't hit my growth spurt like many other kids. So I thought about just waiting it out. But then when I turned 13 and we played a basketball game, and I noticed I played that game and I was very upset for not seeing the court. Unfortunately, that night I was told I had ataxia, and that was very hard to hear. As my auntie Jo was saying, my sister Kayla suffers from FA as well, so I knew about it through her, and it was very tough to hear because I thought my life was over after that. I thought everything was going to be harder. So back to the quote, I thought growing up I was going to be the next major athlete out of Leominster. I thought I was going to be the next Kobe Bryant or something. And then that night hit, and my whole world was twisted. Didn't know what to think, didn't know what was going to happen. It was very tough to hear. So the next day, I was at school with Sean and all my other kids in 7th grade, and I just received one of the worst news of my life the night before. So I didn't know how to act and how to respond. So I thought to myself I could make my friends feel bad for me and pity me, or I could change their minds and not tell them what happened. So they were all playing Foursquare before we went to class, and I didn't know what to do. So I did what a normal 13-year-old would do and just hopped in line and played Foursquare, and that's how I got through the rest of the years.
Try pulling up a little bit, Joey. Let's see if it gets away from the interference. Just a little. That better?
Yeah. So that's how I acted through the rest of the years, just by going along with it, acting like nothing is a major issue, but I knew it would catch up to me one day. But until that day would come, I acted like it was fine. Getting into high school, Sean and I attended Lawrence Academy. Looking back now, Lawrence Academy was a great school. Met a lot of great people there that helped a lot. But still, I wasn't open about telling about my disorder. So it was tough at first. LA had a big campus, so walking from building to building was hard. Too. Luckily, I had Sean there, a few friends that would help me out along the way, but carrying like simple things like a backpack and just making sure you're not too tired. So when you're 15, you have to think about that so you don't embarrass yourself in front of seniors, older kids pretty much. It's terrifying. It was no life to live. So junior year came around and I felt it got much worse for me. Anywhere I walked, like you knew something was wrong, you knew something was up. So my advisor, my dean of students at Sean, they all came up to me and were like, hey, I want to tell the student body what's going on. We want them to help you. And of course, me being the tough Blaney, like I said no, just trying to be a tough guy. But then my friend came up to me and was like, Joey, what's wrong? I didn't want to tell her the right answer, but she kept asking me, are you okay, what's wrong? And I ignored her. I was like, go ask Sean. Sorry, I used him a lot. It was tough, it was really tough, so I decided to say yes to the assembly. And that was very hard. My biggest weakness or vulnerability was telling people what I have and making them, I thought if I told them they would feel bad for me, I would never be taken seriously. But instead, that assembly came and happened, and I chose not to be there because I didn't want to see other people getting upset. And Sean cried on stage, but that's a side note. No, but little did I know that 15-minute assembly would change my world, change my entire life. So after that assembly, I noticed people in my entire school became our friends, as you can see.
Oh. There we go.
So, no. So, as you can see, wherever I walked, wherever I went after that, someone was there to help me, and it made Joey become Joey pretty much, and that's who I am today. So I thought to myself, just being open.
Nope, your cell phone's off. We took care of that.
Might be on belt, actually. Yeah, so high school was awesome after that. Things became easier, I became much more open, much more willing to do things. So when they asked me to shoot a basketball, I said no. I swear to God, I said no. But then I said I'll only do it if I could dunk the ball. And well, behold, it happened. They asked me to give my graduation speech. I said, of course, I would love to. It was a great opportunity. It was very nerve-wracking like this, but it was a good experience. So Joey started to become Joey by being open, and yeah, that. So I took that to college, the same kid I was, but I'm not gonna act like it was all good. That phase started getting much worse, and it forced me to operate using a scooter, and that was hard. So, as we all know, if you've been to college, it's hard meeting new kids. But try that, and also being in a wheelchair is way harder than you expect. Kayla and Nick can attest. It's very difficult. But I was the same kid. I was very open to it, and it got me to great opportunities in my life. So I joined a fraternity. My parents thought I was crazy for trying to do that, but I did that. And it was terrific. I had great friends, great supporting group. Those kids are still some of my best friends today, so it was a great opportunity. Throughout the years, I was a crazy kid, pretty much. I did whatever I could. I even became a sorority sweetheart just because I like flirting, pretty much. My senior year, I became the student body president of my class, just being the active vocal kid I am. And it was amazing. College was awesome. And what I learned reflecting on college and high school is that asking for help or expressing your weakness is tough, but it makes you a better person in the long run. When you ask someone for help, it doesn't only change you, but it changes how someone it changes someone else at the same time. So, as you know, I'm a very open and happy kid, so when my older cousin asked me to officiate his wedding, I said yes, I would love to. When my buddies asked me if they could carry me up the mountain, I said yes, I would love to. And once I graduated, my idea was to write a blog, start a book, and become a speaker, and I said hell yes, I'd love to. And that's the whole point of this. Life is short. Trust me, it is. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but if you take advantage of your time and be smart about it, it will help you. So reflecting back on the quote that I used to stare at, thanks to my mom, I'm starting to add life to my years. I don't know what's going to happen next or tomorrow. Hopefully you guys like this on well, but it's all going to change. And then so there are a lot of people I'd like to thank in this room, but more specifically, I'd like to thank my immediate family. We're all a crazy bunch. When we roll in with 2 scooters, Sean and I had a broken arm for a while. We're like, looked like the circus. But the craziness, it works though. We all love each other. They have all taught me to be understanding of others, be empathetic, taught me how to not be crazy, thanks to my mom, but it's all been good. So once again, thank you all. I really appreciate this. I want to keep doing these speaking events. So it's great that my first opportunity was 2 minutes down the road from where I grew up. So once again, thank you to the library, thank you to you guys, thank you to my auntie John.